folks? How's it going today? Another random garbage video, as I explained the earlier one this week. It's going to be mostly me or Chris for the next week or two as the kind of holidays wrap up. Just this way we both get a little bit of time off. So I think the next time we'll be both back available is the 5th, 6th, whatever that Wednesday is. 2 Wednesdays from now. Until then, sit back, enjoy infinite garbage time as I try and come up with stupid videos to entertain you while you're off enjoying your hobby and so forth. So today is I promise I'd never do this, but you run out of stuff to talk about. So we have effectively a top 5 list. Number 4 will surprise you. It won't surprise you. Got my the glasses on to look extra smart, so that hide my tired eyes. Yeah. So today we've got sitting in front of my infinity wall. So it's true, I do carry it. I don't just look off into the distance on when we sit in from the other vantage point where Chris and I usually sit. This game doesn't exist here at the store. And kind of side tangent, it continues to kind of pitter along in a nice pace. You can see the War Crow on the other side of me here. There's a game that's like kind of, now that it's got some releases coming in, it seems to be doing all right. It's like any new game that hits the shelf. You got like some early adopters and some of the other I guess people that might play Infinity start to be like, oh, what else is there, right? And they start checking it out. So anyway, the miniatures are very nice. I don't know about the game personally, to be honest. Sounded like from Chris's perspective, he played it a little bit and he said the game needed a little bit more to come out. So that's happening. There's like more kits coming out. I like one of my other regulars. He was like, he bought some and he was like, I'm just buying it because because he's been like a consumer of Corpus Belly products for like ever, and like some of their other like Aristay and some of their other like smaller games. They just die sometimes. Like you can't get them anymore after a certain time. So he's like, I'm only buying these because they might die in a year. And I was like, oh my god. But then really it was just a way to support the store. So I wasn't going to complain about that. Anyway, today's list of things, kind of another. I don't know if it's a Patreon question, but it's something. I was reading one of them. It kind of jogged it kind of made me think about things that I guess are annoying in the hobby. So it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek look at. I mean, some of it is legitimately pretty stupid. So these are like things that companies do that that you're just like, why are you doing this? Why are you making life more difficult than it has to be? So. I'm going to start shooting from the hip. The first one I've got here is GeoView and its silly apps and the way they're complicated paywall structure and funneling you to Warhammer Plus and all that stuff. So, if you have, I guess this comes up very often here at the store because, frankly, most people are just kind of don't know. They're just casual players. And they're kind of like, maybe they're new. A lot of the times they're like newish players, and they're kind of like, oh, do I need a codex, or I just want to like play a simple game. They often they're not even aware that for a while you could, especially when the edition is new, that you can often download data sheets and war scrolls, both A40K and Age of Sigmar, pretty easily. And then unfortunately, GW does I think extra thing of when the codex comes out. So if the Space Marine book comes out, well, now all the Space Marine data sheets are like locked. Basically, they want you to buy the book so that you can insert the code. And when the 11th launch or 10th launch, sorry, I'm already way out of myself. Don't worry, two more years. 2 more years? Yeah, right. Yeah. I think it's 2 more years. God, I hope so. Anyway. When so there's like a 3-month period where life is good. Like you can browse, build army lists in the app and browse all the war scrolls and data sheets. And then anyway, so what they do now is they want when the book comes out, you got to get the book, enter the code, and then you can access them. So I get that you make the book and you want to make money off. You're kind of like the rules are a thing that you spend money making. Like it is they do produce. They have to pay writers, game designers, artists, etc. But I feel like in the year of our Lord 2024, you know, I feel like we've progressed enough that we don't need to like paywall all the rules. If that makes sense. I think the happy medium is the like where the book has the like extra I don't know what do you call it, power gamey stuff that you want. It's got the command abilities maybe, or the special data sheets, or the enhancements or special magic items that like really put you over the top. But you should be able to just open the box and get a little rule set in there. I know they kind of print them on the back of the instructions and stuff, but it's just like I don't know. It's so draconian. I don't know. It's weird. Like what? Just give it to me. You already had it in the app. You was working fine, and I can tell you as a store owner when they do that, when you have that little 3 month period where everything is like freemium, people write lots of lists. And when they write lots of lists, they come in and make stupid purchases. They come in and buy. They write a list with, I don't know, 4 riptides in it or something. Or actually that's not a bad list, but like think of something else where maybe it's just got nothing but Death Leapers or something. And then these people come in and they buy those things because they're excited about it. And I fail to see why that's a bad thing. So at the very least, I think what they could do is I cannot appreciate where the book comes out and you need the code to like unlock. They already limit you to one. If you don't pay for the 100 plus subscription, you only get one list at a time, a period in your app. And whatever. So you can make it so that you can only write one list, and you can only basically a glorified calculator. Do that. That's fine. Anyway, so that's the top one that I find that they do of all the things they do. I feel like they're still futzing around there in a way that is just, I don't know. It's just weird. Just other companies, they either give you cards or have useful apps. Yeah. So there's another. So the next thing I have is also a famous GW thing. Part number 2, which I was recently reminded of during my Legions Imperialis journey. I should make some content about how that's going. I have an army built, and there's paint on it, so there's that. But getting to the building part specifically of the armyless construction, I was like, you quickly figure out you need like 5 books. You can't just have just the rule book, because enough time's passed by and enough stuff has come out that there is like assets and models that are not just in the main book. So the main book has most of the good stuff. Like if you're a Space Marine player, you got your like Kratos and Sakarans, and I've got Titans in there, and there's most of the key, there's Rhinos and most of the key Solar Auxiliary units. But if you want, I don't know, Sakaran with Arcus missiles or whatever, you need a different book. I don't remember which one. We have them all here because we're like that. Chris and I were like, well, we're just gonna own all the books because we're like that. But yeah, I think there's Talaran and Great Slaughter, and there might be there's a mechanic. There's actually 4. No, there's those 3 plus there's 4 books required, that at least, to have access to like all of the units. And yeah, it's a little crazy. Like you could another thing where you maybe could have just made a PDF, and you don't really need a lot. You just need really simple, like because the data sheets in the game by themselves are kind of useless. Like you need the rule books or the rules to get like what all the abilities do, because it's a whatever you want to call it, an old style of Warhammer game where it's like nested rules and rules that reference other rules, and very crunchy in that regard. Think of like Old World or Horus Heresy. And they anyway, so I ended up, like, God bless the internet, someone or some people made a brilliant army list. I think I googled Legion Imperialis army builder, and it's like the top result, and it works beautifully. So there you go. That's just one of those things. So and usually, like I said before, and my just little point I made earlier is just that builder alone isn't like that's great. And then if I want to play the game, I'll probably still need to buy the books anyway to get all the rules that I need. But I at least get me to the point where I'm, because the arguments building in those games is like important because you're trying to figure out what the heck you need to buy. Because things come in, they use the word that, you know, across Warhammer games, they very liberally use words like detachments and formations and squads and unit sizes, and you're just like constantly, you're like, what makes a detachment? How many do I need in a formation? What's a company? You know, and all these things, all these little things that fit, that make tree branches that you need to fit together. So, yeah, those are two things that I find. I'm sure you guys will find many more things that you don't. And let's get past the easy ones like the price and whatever and supply. And those are like, we beat up on those all the time. Let's get on that. Let's be more creative with other things that GW does with their products that that drive you nuts despite it all. So my next one is has to do with the Corvus Belly Wall. This one was brought to my attention. I wasn't aware of this. And this is kind of goes in the bucket of like hobby or game companies that have these like ideas, and it kind of the execution, it doesn't work out, or it's a placeholder for something. So I don't know about you. I personally find QR codes mostly useless. Sometimes they're useful. Maybe on a, I don't know. Sometimes you scan it and you know, it's about being able to take a picture, basically use your phone to scan a code to like direct you to a thing you need. So I don't know, maybe you're in a parking garage and you scan the code and it takes you to the website where you can pay for your parking spot. I don't know. That this is an example. On this box, now I haven't tried all the codes because I'm not a madman. This code, where do you think this takes you? Let's have some ideas. Could be the instructions. That would be good. Could be a rule card. That would also be good. Could be, I don't know, to the store to tell you what else to buy. No, how about we take you to a page with this picture on it. Or this picture, one of these two. That's it. That's all it does. It lets you see this on your phone screen. So anyway, that's you know, maybe there's plans for more. And maybe, you know, they're not all that bad, although there's another thing to bring out. So let's say this. So this is funny. Not this one. Hold on. Hold on a sec. Please hold. Holding. Maybe this thing. What has a bunch of minis in it? Okay. Here we go. This is, I'm dovetailing into another thing other than the QR code being rubbish. So this is like some dudes for Ariadne. Okay. So you got a fire axe guy, a guy with a gun, and a guy with a knife and a gun. Okay, that's very infinity here. It's some dudes. So if you were to like put this in your army list builder, or try and, you know, other than recognize the guys on the box that maybe you're on their website or in the army builder, nowhere here does it tell you what these guys are. They're just called Reinforcements Ariadne Pack Beta. So what is that? Like I know that this is we called him Dr. Fireaxe or whatever, because historically he was a medic and an engineer. So I don't know how I assume he medics you by cutting your leg off, and then engineers by cauterizing it or something, or shooting you in the head to end your misery. Yeah, so I know what that is because I've been in the game, or I've been around the game for so long. But if you're someone else, someone newish, so the box is used to. This is a new stuff. I will say I do like the slim box because it's like I can fit more of them on the shelf. So that is something. But you know, this is the classic box, which is probably oversized, but you know, looks nice. They tell you what these are. They tell you what each guy is. I have an initiated observant hacker with the boarding shotgun. Okay. I have an initiated observant non-hacker with boarding shotgun, and then a Orphans of the Observance multi-marksman rifle guy or girl. So there you go. So at least and it's called the Kunin whatever, and you got the symbol, so you know it's nomads. Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong? Corpse belly. Why are we doing this? Why are we why are we going to this mystery thing? Yeah, some of them aren't bad, but these like compilation packs, it's not good. It's not good. I mean, the Work Pro isn't any better. This is a. I guess okay, maybe that is what that is. Work officers. Okay, some of them are okay, but the QR code, yeah. And don't get me started on the sand trap, please. I know in Spanish it's much better. It's a El Sand Trapo or something. I don't know. Someone's gonna kill me for that. So next one up is my other favorite company, Fantasy Flight / Asmodee / whatever game company, bankrolled by Saudi money and then something. They something. I'm not gonna get into their games or how they're doing, but that's another channel talker. Or you guys are aware of how Chris and I feel about those. Lovely miniatures though. The something that they've been famous for doing in an effort to make games really easy to jump into, and I actually don't mind this so much, is they use measury widgets. So it's just like range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and usually they like connect together and make a weird snake thing, or they're separate things, and you can usually they look actually pretty cool, and it makes play very easy because you're just like, oh, the card says it's range 2, so you put the little 2 ruler down, and it could be arbitrary. It doesn't have to be the classic Games Workshop, 6, 12, 18, 24, or whatever they use. Which, if you've been in Games Workshop for a long time, when you play Horus Heresy and you play with something with Volkite and it says 15 inches, you're like, what? Anyway, so you get the widgets, and the other one that they love doing is the proprietary dice. So they like using D8s with symbols on them, or D10s or D20s or whatever in some of their other games, but usually it's D8s with swirlies, blanks, double swirly, whatever, bullet holes, symbols, and then sometimes they're like usually red, black, and white, or blue, red, and white, or something like that. And that's fine. That's fine. I get why it's good, because when you play the game, and you're not like, your brain doesn't have to do a number thing where you're looking for 4s, 5s, and 6s or whatever you need to quickly disseminate that. We've all done that. We've all there 40 dice of orc shooting, and then you're like trying to find the 5s and 6s among a mess of misses. Here it's very quick. You roll the 5, 6 dice, and it's like you're just like, oh, I got 3 swirlies. Oh, it's a crit or something, or oh, I got 7 blanks. And you're like, that sucks. I lose the game now, or whatever. So that's great. However, usually what happens, because I've witnessed this at the store and I've seen customers witness this, is they like don't make enough of them. They like somehow, for some reason, like to treat it on, instead of it being the like maybe loss leader or thing where they're like, let's make sure we always have a ton of these, and that our suppliers have a ton of these, and we keep them available forever, even though like at some point the need is going to trickle down. It's like when the game is new, everyone's buying starter boxes, and you get them in starter boxes. Awesome. But especially, I saw this especially in a game like Legion, where you often needed an extra set of dice, and you come in, or maybe like your friend gave you some minis. You're like, oh, I got a starter box. Here's like the other half, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I need to go get some dice. And they go to the store, and the store's like, I don't have any dice. Yeah, but I can't play now. It's a symbol D8. I can't play the game. So that's happened, and so that frustrates me too. That's another one of those like, why guys, why can't you? So yeah, there's been a few times over the years where I'm just like, please, just make them more available. Don't make it something that sells out. Just take an L on that, so that people can keep enjoying your game. And you can charge whatever. They're usually not that cheap, like, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks. Like, but you're kind of like, I buy it once and I have it. And they do also change them. Like, I don't, it would be cool if they had a master set that worked for all their games, but you could probably argue they could, but I guess let them tweak things a bit. And then my last one here, to kind of cap this full garbage time video, mostly me just complaining about, I'm an old man yelling at clouds, hobby clouds, is the what do you call it, the box art thing. that Chris and I have rambled on about many times. I don't have one to show you because it hasn't come out yet, I guess, but we have ordered some of these products for other customers. There's like specifically War Machine things. So Steamforge Games purchased War Machine and then was like, we're gonna get it out there and we're gonna make a new starter box and re-release some things. And yeah, we got some hands on a few boxes, and basically the box, if you put it like bookended, like this is great because it doesn't matter which, except for this way. Fair enough. You're probably not going to do that way. But 5 of the 6 sides. This is a rectangular prism. 5 of the 6 sides are useful. It'll tell you exactly what is in here. Name, picture. If no picture, then the name and the faction. This is great. I can bookend it, stack it, front face it if I'm a crazy person and I have all this extra shelf space or whatever. Or I just have a massive store and it would be great if I could do that. The War Machine boxes don't do that. They're like, it just basically, it would be this. It would just be like, if it would be this. And yeah, actually you don't even get this up top. You just get where it says code 1 or something. It just says War Machine. And forget it being a retailer nightmare. I don't see how a customer would enjoy that either, because they're just like having to pull every box and get, what is this? What is this? And then to add to the misery, they come in every, some boxes are like literal cubes, and other ones are like slim, and other ones are slim and tall. Yeah. Anyway, these things. I don't know. I don't know why. If you're going to print the box anyway, I mean, it must be to, I suppose it's to save on ink or something, or the printer just gives you a code and says what it's going to cost. So you want to have extra details, but I mean, I just need text on the spine, and it doesn't even have to have a picture. Like obviously Games Workshop is famous for having you get the text and the picture, and you know exactly what is in there. So. Yeah, that part annoys me as well, among other things. To finish off the additional extra garbage time, we have gotten some kind of a little addendum for those of you that stuck around for the War Machine. So some of my longtime customers, he was like, just hit me with it. I don't care. I'll take the pain. I love it. Just give me the War Machine. It's pure nostalgia, right? So we ordered some of the, I guess they're whatever, because it's not Mark IV anymore. It's just back to War Machine or something. It's a new edition or old edition, or 4th ed, but not with the 4 on it. It's just called War Machine. And so whatever newer kits, I guess, that they had in the pipe, they got released. And so these aren't like new, it's not the HIPS material that SFG was going to do, or I guess is doing with the new starter boxes. So this isn't the premium tier of the product they're going to make. This is like, I guess, when they bought in, they assessed what they could like rebox or finish off that was in production and get it done and get it out to market. And yeah, so the models themselves, not too bad. I think the main point is this is for me, one of the first times I've witnessed or felt or seen a mainline product that is essentially, I mean, they've been doing this for a while, but like, it's another thing to open it and this is in front of you. It's printed. It's 3D printed. So, like, 3D printed on the 3D printer that you probably have in your home. Like, it's not there's nothing about it that is super high, some special good industrial grade fancy fidelity, that maybe GW has access to or something, or whatever companies that use these the higher end products to make prototypes or production pieces anyway. So I was like, this is interesting. So I mean, the customer of mine, he got them built and primed, and he was painting them, and I was like, that's pretty good. They certainly weren't cheap. Battle Group was a couple $100 or whatever they would have cost if they were in metal or high detail, like injection molded plastic or whatever. So that's something made me positive. Like, that's odd. You're like you have that weird moment. You're like, but this is something I could, if I had the files, obviously, just print at home. So you're kind of scratching your head, like, why am I paying the premium price? It's just a bit odd, just a pause, you know. I think most of what he got was like generally pretty good. It was cleaned up pretty. I didn't see any like horrendous support problems. I think there's some really small bits that we were like, oh yeah, the details kind of screwed up here a little bit. You have to look, you know, once it's prime black, and they were Crix models, so like prime black, you know, with some like metallic trim already started, and so it was really hard to like, you had to really like squint and look, and maybe even be harsh, overly critical. But yeah, so my kind of extra garbage time thought on that is I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. It didn't really make me uh super jazzed to make it a thing on the wall. I don't know. I'm still waiting for kind of the starter box and the starter materials, you know, to really make, you know, put it on the wall and see, maybe then. But I haven't had a very many, if at all, you know, people calling me, hey, can you get me this or whatever? I want to play some. It's a handful of people. So I don't know what other regions are like. You can shout out wherever you are. If War Machine's like the full wall and it's the best banging product in your local store and you love it, you know, let's hear about it. But here it's a bit crickets, you know. So, and I'm not super excited for whatever the future is. Maybe it's just because, maybe it's just for now. Maybe it's a slow growing thing. But anyway, I hope you like this edition of the rant. This top 5 list of things that annoy you in the hobby. We're mostly store owner complaining about things. Yeah, so enjoy the rest of your holidays. Have a good New Year. I don't know if there'll be another video between now and January 1st. We'll see what Chris has in mind. The ball's firmly in his court now. He's got to think of something crazy and talk in front of the camera nonsensically. And yeah, we'll see you later. And of course, thank you again for the likes, the subscribes, the comments, the questions, the Patreons. We appreciate it very much. Thanks. Bye.